Hello, my dear ones. This is Jill with Greenwood Girl Cards, and I'm going to share a little bit of coloring footage that I got. It's not the greatest. I think I'm off frame in parts of it, or I'm not as in frame as I'd like to be. Let me put it that way. I'm trying to do better with filming. If it helps some of you, I hope you enjoy watching it. But let me show you what I've been doing. I've been using this beautiful image from Unity Stamps to make some Christmas cards. And this is called Born for Us. Unity does a big sale over Black Friday where their stamps are always 60, I think it's 60% off. And I got this last year during their Unity sale. And so I pulled this out. I stamped a bunch of them out tonight. And then along with it, I used the 4-inch round circle card dies from my Creative Time. And then with it, I used these beautiful decal-edged dies from from Honeybee. And I do these, they're called deckled edge circles, and it's Honeycutt's information right there, and if you need it. So from Honeybee Stamps. So I use those, and I use this one, the 4-inch one, and then the one below that to layer the inside of the card. And then, hello, Julie Tillman, my sweet friend Julie, who used to have her own stamp company called Verve Stamps, and I still have many of her stamps. I used on the back of my cards this Blessings Today and Always from Verve. So I like to keep this one on my desk, and it's a perfect one for either the inside of your cards or the back. And so the inside just has that smaller circle that I edged in ink, and then the back of the card has that beautiful Blessings Today and Always stamp from Verve. And then, of course, I Copic colored the image, and on this one it says, "Unto you a Savior is born," and on this one it says, "Oh, come, let us adore him." So two different looks, and just a beautiful image for the Christmas season. And I do need to refill my lavender marker that I used and go over the backgrounds one more time, but I'm going to let them dry completely before I add any more color to them. And if I don't get to it, it looks more like just a nighttime sky with some puffy clouds in the background. So it's perfectly fine this way too if I don't want to color them more. But I just wanted to come on and show them to you, and the footage will be at the back of this, of course. And thank you so much, everybody, for supporting my channel, for all the wonderful comments and support you give me during the My Creative Time releases and with all the different things that I share, and for the entire Saturday Morning Makes community who stood behind Nancy and Sybil and all the people that were putting content out while I was away for 5 months. And I so apologize for having to be gone so long. You know, unfortunately, we were doing some things that just required me to be away. So helping families, sometimes you drop everything and you don't go do what needs to be done. So thank you all for supporting me this year, even when I wasn't here, and coming back and supporting me now. I really appreciate it. And I wish you all the most joyful holiday season. And I have more to share, so keep coming and checking my channel. Thank you so much. Bye now. Hi everybody, it's Jill with Greenwood Girl Cards, and I am working on some Christmas cards tonight. And I made this little card. I used My Creative Time's 4-inch circle card die as the base, and then I used these two dies from Honeybee Stamps that have uneven edges, and the smaller one is on the inside of the card, and the larger one is what's covering the front of the card. And it wasn't a perfect lineup because this is a deckled edge. So I just used some ground espresso distress inks to edge the edge of it. And then I also tied just a piece of twine into a bow just to add a little detail to the side of the card. So that is what I am working on. I'm going to color it exactly the same way if I can, to make a few cards. So let's get started. I'll try and show you the marker color that I'm using to color with. I'm going to start with the trees and just give them a little bit of green in a lighter shade, and then I'll come back later and darken them. I think I almost need to darken the ones on here a little bit more, But with Christmas card production, you're just trying to, for me, because I make so many cards for Christmas, I just want to do kind of a quick coloring, lay some color down and have that be enough, if you will, to make the card look beautiful, but not necessarily spend hours and hours doing the shading and everything. So this is a YG63. Actually, I'm going to take off the fine tip end, the cap. There we go. So YG63, and I'm just going to add some darker color to this really quick. Just darken it up slightly. And I may go back in with an even darker marker later, but this just adds a little bit more detail. So, okay, so those are the trees, really, really simple. Then let's get just some skin tones. Let's see, what do I have? I have an EOO and E30, and I think I have an EO2. So these are some of the skin tones that I use. And we'll go ahead and start with the EOO. And I hope I'm zoomed in enough so that you guys can see what I'm doing, hopefully without my head getting in the way. I'm trying to stay back so that you guys can see, which makes my job of coloring a little bit harder, but we'll see if we can still get it done here. So I'm coloring up the baby Jesus's face and Joseph's face and his ear, and then we'll go down and get his hand too. So just giving them base coats of EOO. And again, I know a lot of you have said, you know, I just can't color, but we all learn to color in kindergarten, and you can color, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to do any shading if you don't want. I'm just adding some pinks for their cheeks and just adding a little bit of color around their hairline just to deepen that a little bit. And I'll do the same thing down here for the baby Jesus. And that was with an EO2. And then I have an E30. Just going to add a little bit darker tones to him. More swarthy, if you will. And on and around her neck. Do a little bit with baby Jesus too. So that was E30. And I'm going to go back in with my EOO and just blend that out. And again, I have not taken any Copic training. I am self-taught, and I enjoy art for the sake of creating. It is my best form of bliss and therapy. This is a Y21, and I'm just going to color these halos in yellow, and the stars on the trees. So I'm just adding some little dots of star color where I think they need to go. And then I'm going to color the hay that he's laying in the same tone, and I'll add a brighter yellow later to this. I have a Y13 here, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that Y13 to the hay. And just darken that up a little further. I don't even know if it did much. Okay, so now I want to do her and him. This is B32. It's pale blue. And I'm just going to give her gown a pale blue color. Trying not to get her hand and her hair. Okay. Keeping it really simple, you guys. Him, I pulled out E35 and E33, and I'm going to start with E33 to do his cloak with. Again, coloring very quickly and very simply, avoiding his hand. Okay, and So that's E33, and then here's E35, and I'm going to take the E35 up to his hair. And his beard, too, I think needs color. Okay. Yeah. And then I think I'm going to also do her hair in brown. This is either her hair or it's a little veil that she's wearing. And I keep changing my mind on what it is, but let's see. She might have like a little, this could be considered just a little veil that she's wearing too. So I don't know. I think you can kind of give hints of both there and just leave it really simple. So I might try coloring it the other way next time. But then I really want to make the ground like I did in the card here. I'm going to do some purple tone for the sky. And I think I need to re-ink this marker also. Come back down in here one more time. And then the last thing that I'm going to do, we'll let that dry for a minute, is I'm going to carry the E33, which is the majority of the brown on the card. I'm going to carry it through to the base here. And that way, when I go to cut this with my circle die, I'll have this part be a solid color. Okay, so there you have it. And you can see if I take the circle die and I put it over here, I probably need to color a little bit more right here and right down here. But that gives you the gist of the card right there. So really quick coloring and a very beautiful image. And it is from Unity Stamps, and a wonderful way to send a meaningful Christmas card. So I will go ahead and make this one into another card that looks just like this one. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful time leading up to Thanksgiving. I'm so grateful for this beautiful community, for every one of you that supports me, to everyone that kept Saturday Morning Makes and Two Crafters, One Design, to everybody that contributes to those two hashtags, and to all the hashtags in the community, you know, that has supported Nancy and Sybil and Carol and Tammy and Lynn and Joyce and Gail, all the people that have hashtags out there, you know, that work on bringing content to every channel that works on bringing content to the community. It's so much fun to see what people are making. So at this time of Thanksgiving, I just wanted to say a great big thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, and I will be back with more content to share with you very soon. All right, I hope you enjoyed this little Copic coloring video. All right, bye now.